Heraclitus says that everything is constantly changing. Nothing is, all is becoming. Look at this stream right here. Look at this flow of water. It's constantly moving. This is why Heraclitus says it is not possible to step into the same river twice. It's not possible to step into the same body of flowing water twice. Why? Because it's constantly changing. It's never the same flowing body of water. When you step in a river once, you take your foot out, and then you step in at a later time, it is now a different body of water. All the water has moved. The symbol that Heraclitus uses in order to exemplify this idea of change is fire. For Heraclitus, everything is like fire. Everything is constantly moving. Everything is constantly changing. There is no rest. Most people don't recognize the reality around them. Most people don't recognize and understand what is really going on. Everything is constantly changing. Nothing is permanent. Nothing stays the same. And let me prove this to you right now. Let me prove the reality that Heraclitus has set forth. Look at my face for a few seconds. Did you notice that? I'm older, but you didn't notice it because your eyes are too weak to pick up the reality of what just took place. This is why Heraclitus does not have high opinion of normal people that don't understand this, because normal people just rely on their eyes, they rely on their touch, they rely on their sense of smell. They do not understand the reality of what's taking place, and they think they know things when in reality they don't. Just like you probably thought, well, he looks the same after a few seconds of observing me. You didn't notice the reality of what really happened. I got older. You didn't notice the reality because your eyes are too weak. And if you don't understand the philosophy of Heraclitus, then you're ignorant about these matters, and those who really know are those who understand the reality of constant change, of constant flux. One of the conclusions that we have to make if we follow the philosophy of Heraclitus is that we don't really know anything, because nothing stays the same. Everything is constantly changing essentially. Any type of definition that you have, whether it's the definition of a car, of milk, of a human being, it cannot possibly be stable because everything is essentially changing at every moment. So there cannot possibly be a definition of something that is permanent and that is stable. So if we have a definition of a human being as a rational animal, this is not a stable definition because human beings are constantly changing at every moment. They are essentially changing at every moment, and we don't even recognize the change. The whole of the human being is constantly changing. The whole of the human being is in constant flux. The whole of the human being is in constant motion, and it is totally different from one point to the next. It's just that we don't recognize it because our sense experience is too weak to pick up the reality. So we have to rely on the reasoning of philosophers like Heraclitus to know anything about the world.